You know, like,
you love football. You watch football.
The commissioner could literally punt a baby across his office. I'm still going to watch on Sunday.
Oh, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for, like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size. I already slouch. It's gonna be a bad interview, dude, and I'm blaming the chair.
Get it. You know, it's fun. You get on stage, you talk about topics that are kind of taboo, but you make them really, really funny.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or
yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far.
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think I want to.
You know what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers? It's irritating. It's like everywhere I go, man. I figured just be here in the city. We got a good mix of people. You know, I'll be like in the middle of Kansas, though. Like the whitest state ever. There'll be some howdy-doody looking white kid like me. You know, I'm thinking this is one of my peeps. Somebody I can have a conversation with. All of a sudden, she's like, yo, what's up, kid? What's up, kid? I just want to be like, nothing much, Brad. You know, you keeping it real in Wichita? How the fuck are you going to be a gangster in a state, say, like Nebraska? You know, wouldn't you be like all hardcore about your crop? Just in there, yo, shit was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking corn wasn't growing, motherfucking scarecrow was tipping over and shit, you know what I'm saying, son? I just want to be like, dude, you're white. Go to the Gap, give into it. Buy some Dockers, and come home.
They're picked. I'm guessing they're going to pick Madonna and finish off the job Kabbalah started.
Yes, well, Rob, she was born and raised Catholic, then she became a whore, but over the last decade, she has studied the Kabbalah.
I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions on millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions.
And out of the house.
You want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this. Okay.
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this bullshit. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up better than the CDC. All I do is I watch the news once every 2 weeks. I'm like, mask or no mask? Still mask? All right, mask. That's all I give a fuck about. I don't care.
But even they say you shouldn't wear a mask unless you're treating a coronavirus patient. The World Health Organization.
Yeah, but they didn't say that initially. They didn't say it initially.
No, they didn't.
They did, and then it gradually, and then wait, and then everybody wore the fucking masks. This is like rollerblading. Everybody fucking rollerbladed, and then there was that one fucking homophobic joke, and then everybody acted like they never did it. And then 100 million fucking rollerblades got thrown into the fucking ocean. We all wore masks, and then all of a sudden, people are fucking sitting there. Well, you don't have the body type for it, dude. Your fucking knuckles would scrape on the ground. Even with that extra 2 inches. I just love how wearing a mask became like this fucking like soft thing that you were doing. Like being courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so stupid.
You're wearing a mask. First of all,
oh, God, you're so tough with your fucking open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here. A man doesn't wear a mask.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm really glad that you're
Dallas
here.
Area?
Yes, Dallas is so happy to have you. You were just telling me you're from Massachusetts, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Massachusetts, and now you're living in L.A.
Yes, I am.
So I'm glad that you're here in Texas for the brief time that the weather's going to be 70 degrees.
Oh, it's perfect. This is like the golden age of global warming. Right before the polar ice caps melt and we all drown. You got to enjoy these 70-degree January days. They're awesome.
Enjoy them while you can get them.
That's right.
You know, I was reading a little bit about you, and it says that you have a tendency to kind of go with your first thought.
Yeah.
Because reading makes you sleepy.
That's right. And my first thought is this is the best week to be here, the week before the Super Bowl.
That is so true.
Before all the whores fly in, you know?
Yeah.
Just want to get out.
Wow.
Just want to get out of here before that. What is true? This is like the Oscars for prostitutes.
Okay, all right.
This entire week.
Let's remember we're G-rated here, folks. All right, so we're going to go back to a safer subject because, as you know,
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
this is.
Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writers' room on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials. You know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done, and right out of the gate. Was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry.
I think I hate like 90% of the movies that are coming out right now. You know what movies really irritate me? I hate the black guy, white guy buddy movies. You know what I mean? Because they always gotta make the white guy out to be like this complete nerd, like, oh, geez, I can't understand the slang, slow down, black guy. Then they always have the black guy's gotta be like this over-the-top, like, ridiculous, come on, man, you gotta loosen up, like, teaches the white dude how to, like, party or something. That shit never happens in real life. You know, like, when I hang out with a black guy in real life, at no point does he, like, try to, like, teach me how to dance, and I don't go to his neighborhood and, like, try to save a school. It just doesn't happen. We kind of hang out, have a good time, whatever, and at the end of the night, you know, we get on the subway, and I get off at about 15 stops before him.
It's not your fault that I'm a psycho, right? You're a wonderful person. If I wasn't a maniac, I would have been in the real world like you, helping people. Instead up here pathetically screaming, look at me, every goddamn night. Well, sure, I'll talk about it. What do you want to know about it? What do you want to know? You want to know what it's like to sit in a Red Roof Inn in the middle of fucking Nebraska? Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever an American goes to book a vacation, they go, hey, fuck Florida, fuck Hawaii, let's go to Nebraska. Yeah, and you know what? Guess where we're staying, sweetie? The Red Roof Inn, right across from the Denny's. Grand Slam breakfast every fucking night. I went up to Nebraska, and I understand why people have guns. I really do. Because you are on your own when you're out there, okay? 78 fucking miles between the next driveway. Rural road 17. They don't even have fucking names for the streets out there. They become dirt roads, little house and prairie. Cash comes rolling by, whatever the fuck they drive out there. Yeah, one of the loneliest moments of my life.
It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
yeah, by all
compromise
means,
your
keep talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, there's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air, I'll tell you.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
There's absolutely crazy people out there.
Yeah. Whew. All right. I don't know why that got so flat.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York for the Patrice
I'm glad
thing.
you liked it.
I
see you losing the roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be right there with me.
I'll be there
We'll do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
All right, two balding old guys.
Exactly.
Going after some hairy criminal.
Where did you play the cop on Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad.
Things. I wasn't a cop in Breaking Bad. I had my head shaved on my first special. You didn't do your research. You were so busy worried about this matching this, and now look at you.
Cop?
Huh?
What
You're
show
starting
you
to
were
get sweat on your upper lip.
Because I'm nervous, because I'm fucking this up.
Can women be funny?
Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you. That's the fucking problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant shit sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care.
Absolutely, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a white person.
The fuck up. It makes no difference whether you got a dick or a twat. All right? Just do what the fuck you want to do, and hopefully people respond to it. But this fucking horseshit of quotas and all of this crap become undeniable. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're fucking doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs.
There are some very famous cereal box icons.
Yes, there
and I
are.
want you to be able to look at some of these characters and see if you can determine which cereal it's associated with. If you get it right, you'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay, let's look at our first one. You're going to see the monitor down here. Let's look at our first one. Here.
Okay.
Oh, it's behind us. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's behind us.
Yes. Who's that?
That's
What's he
my
with?
uncle.
No, it's not. Although you do resemble him. I mean,
Who is that? That is for redheads. That is a racist symbol right there. That's like the Quaker Mix guy.
No,
that's
the Quaker Mix.
Lucky Charms. Bam! Look at that.
Good for you. Okay,
I thought
next.
I didn't drink last night.
Yeah, right. Next, let's see. Okay, who's that? All right, this guy. Can you see him?
Yeah, that's the. Oh, that's one of the founding fathers who said that all men are created equal as long as they're white. Right? Isn't that what it is? One of those guys?
No, it's not. It's
Wasn't
the
he on
Quaker Oats man.
I thought
all
that
right,
was the
and we have. I think,
Bicentennial Fruit Loops guy.
no, it's not. But speaking of that, let's see. Do we have another one, or is that it? Oh.
Oh, that is Johnny Mathis.
You got one question to ask Don Rickles.
Who killed Kennedy?
You think he knows?
Well, yeah. Well, he hung out with Sinatra. I figure 6 degrees of separation. He probably knows. Yeah, why not? Where's Jimmy Hoffa? I'd ask him one of those. You ask him 3 mob questions. One of them he's got the answer to.
Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these 2 guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah.
I never understood people who join the military. And that's such a horrible job. It's like the second you get there, some dude gets right in your face like, get off that goddamn bus, you piece of shit. I mean, what other job is like that? You don't get a job at a computer company and the guy's like, get in that damn cubicle, you fucking piece of shit. Turn on that laptop. Don't you eyeball me private. You're in there doing push-ups. I want to build websites, sir. I just think you have to be a complete idiot and a psycho to want to be in the military. I've never understood the shame of getting a hooker. People always flip out like, dude, you had to pay for it? Just like, buddy, I paid for this shirt. What would you rather pay for, a shirt or a blowjob? You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. I'm going to tell you right now, man, the only thing that stops me is sexually transmitted diseases. If it wasn't for like herpes and AIDS and shit like that, I'd be ordering hookers like Domino's.
This is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt.
Oh, no, this isn't country western. It's like, it's hip now to wear this. This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come on.
All right. You're what is this? Rock 100.5. Mm-hmm. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
You don't have any kids.
No, I don't. And I don't like the way you said that. Like you said, it's very... You don't have any kids. No, I don't have any kids. I'm going to adopt.
That's nice.
I'm going to rescue a couple of the children that work till 4 in the morning to put this. They make them catch it when it rains. Okay, and you have to stand out there until it's full. And if it doesn't rain that day, you actually get beaten, and they dock your pay because you didn't do the rain dance right. And then we sit here and we drink this shit, and we wonder why China hates us.
I was in the middle of Kansas, actually. Oh, fuck, I'm from here. I can't believe you're making fun of it. No, I was in a Denny's. I walked into a Denny's, and I wasn't making any money, right? So I was trying, I had a gig at 11 o'clock at night, so I checked out of my hotel, and I was trying to stay up because I had an early flight, trying to save some money so I wouldn't have to pay for a hotel. And I walked into this Denny's at like 2 in the morning for a 6 o'clock flight, and I come walking in, there's like one waiter, and there's like me and 2 other truckers kind of spread out. And I'm just sitting there, I ordered, and I'm just sitting there, it's deathly quiet like it isn't here right now. And I'm really thinking, I was like 10, 11 years in the business going, what the fuck did I do? I should be married with a couple of kids, running a hardware store. What did I do with my life? I remember in the background, Paul McCartney and Wings, that song came on. All of a sudden, this stupid song came on. You know the song, somebody knocking on my door, somebody ringing the bell. I opened the door, and right as I did that, I looked up, and me and the trucker's eyes met. It was the most pathetic moment. I'm just like, we just really looked at each other like, can you fucking believe this shit? It was a silent moment between us, and then we both went back to our fucking sausage links. And that's what being a stand-up comedian is. It's not that whole HBO's like one night, and then you just right back in the sticks. Huh? Performing on football Sunday. Or a poor excuse for a blizzard in front of a bunch of nurses. This is What's that?
And you know what's the worst is when somebody has a kid like a year or 2 older, and then they just start going like, oh, I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you in a month from now. Enjoy this period. And they try to bring all this anxiety. That's a big thing parents do. They try to bring anxiety on like what's going to happen and all that. So now when people do that, I just say to them, this is my line. I go, you sound like a terrible father, and I think you married the wrong person. It's like, no, it's like that's what you got out of it. This is the most amazing thing is like, oh, you can't drink anymore. You can't go out partying, which you totally can. I don't recommend it, but you really can do whatever you can do blow right in front of your kid. I mean, what is it? It's a baby. It doesn't know what cocaine is. And even if it did, its hands are too small to use the phone to rat you out, so. As long as you don't teach the kid how to use the phone, you ought to be able to do blow for his whole like, first 8 years of his life. So he figures out how to open up a window and get out the world. He's a horrible person. Snorts all the sugar. He won't let me pick up things. This is the only way you can be comfortable in these fucking chairs. This is like in the middle of my back. Oh my God, I love you, but I hate this set. This is the lowest budget shit. You know what it is? It's the rent. It's the fucking rent. You did all this stuff. You should get rid of that camera and get some chairs.
What kind of chair would you prefer?
Comfortable, adult-sized chair. No, I have bad posture. That's what it is.
So do I.
By the way, dude, the elk's been delicious.
Thank you. How do you like it?
I made this American chop suey with it, and my wife gave a fucking bad review before anybody even tasted it, and everybody just said, fuck it. Like, she goes, it looks like Hamburger Helper. I've been chowing it for like 4 days. Like, out of respect for that fucking elk that you shot. It's like, I'm eating all this shit. I don't care if it's fucking bad.
Does it make you more aggressive?
What?
Elk.
No, Joe, you fucking lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just fucking chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death. But this guy is the most testosterone fucking filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him. He's like every guy I met in Boston fucking welded together. He's crazy.
The little rascal's hat will haunt me for the rest of my life.
No, and this is what killing me. No,
I'll never put this on.
No,
Leave the house
Joe,
right
you're
now.
crushing that. He's crushing that hat. Come on, you know he is. You're killing it. I love it. I love it.
You don't have to balance it out. I like it. It's hilarious. I'm laughing at me too. I'll never put this thing on again.
No, you shouldn't, dude.
I'm gonna stick it in the fireplace.
You should, dude. You're killing it.
We'll keep it on for when the papers come out in the morning. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Donald Trump wins in
Alaska. Suku Charlie finally builds a fucking bed.
I'm a huge fan of hockey. I love it. And I love that people don't get it down in the States. I love it. I love it. Why do they let them fight? I can't see the puck. It's like music to my ears. It's like, good, yeah, get out of here. Just get out of here. Let me watch it in peace.
Do you remember when they lit up the puck for a few years on
Fox
TV?
News, yeah.
That was you guys.
Do you know? No, but the NHL.
Well,
No, wait a minute. Time out. The NHL is you guys too. So all the owners had to agree with that. And you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
We thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But
I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you're big on the,
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about.
Wait a
minute.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. Fellow white person, not native to this country. How did you guys get this up here? Did the Native Americans go, oh, well, we like these white guys. You can have all that land? Jesus Christ. No, I get it. Your shit smells like maple syrup up here. Is that what you're telling me? All right. Yeah, I'll go with it.
No, that's what kills me about Obama. All this stuff they're showing him like he's this hero. You know what I mean? Every picture of him now, he's always like kayaking. You know, looks like an erectile dysfunction ad. You know, like this guy he didn't do all these drone bombings. Like, were those terrorists? Were they playing hacky sack? I don't know. You want some soft shell crab? You know, like he wasn't part of that. Sorry, so this is why I don't talk politics, because I'm into conspiracy theory, man.
Are you really?
I'm into it, yeah.
How deep? Alex Jones deep, or?
I think that whoever runs this is a robot and didn't map out what human beings are shaped like, which is why they sort of had an idea of what chairs were, and that's what they. So this show is making me paranoid.
Yes. Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring. Yeah. It's not like it spontaneously happened. Yeah. Like all of a sudden everybody just picked up a gun and started shooting at the British. You know, they sat around.
They planned it out.
They planned it out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of these people.
It's funny, when you said we won, I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
I literally just said I got punched in the head by the person I'm in a relationship with, and her response was, "What did you do?" Right? That's the same thing somebody says they got raped and someone goes, "Well, what were you wearing?" Which is hilarious in a mixed crowd when you have the other sex to relate to it. But when it's a nurse full of, a room full of fucking nurses, it doesn't work. It's just like an improv punishing me. Is that what this is? He sold out a bunch of shows. He thinks he's big shit. I will fix him. Look at him having fun all week. How are we doing here for time?
My girlfriend went to a strip club the other night, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, she's dating me. I know she's got to look at something to give her something to think about, right? But the only problem I had was she came home, she told me she touched one of the strippers' dicks. Can you believe that, ma'am? She said she touched it. So I go, what do you mean you touched it? What, you went like that? Ooh, what is that? She's like, no, I kind of went like that. So I was like, well, what the fuck? You didn't touch it, you stroked it. So I'm getting this big argument about what a stroke is. She goes, no, a stroke is down and then back up again. I go, yeah, but that was a stripper's dick. It's twice as big as mine, so once down is equal to down and then back up again. She tried to act like she didn't enjoy it, but it was a great big stripper cock, and I know she loved it. She definitely loved it.
One time, I was in Rome, right? One day with my wife, and we went to the Vatican to go take the tour of the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
So there's a way to, I don't know, we went through the whole fucking thing, and we're just sitting there, we come in and we're looking at it, whatever, and we're standing in line. It took for fucking ever. So I say to my wife, I was going, you know, if I lived here, I'd open a bar across the street called the 17 Chapel. She goes, what? I go, the 17 Chapel. She goes, what? I don't know. 16 Chapel? 17 Chapel. It's like having the 19th hole.
Oh my God.
Bar thing. And she looked at me.
Oh my
like,
God.
oh my God, I'm breeding with this.
Oh
and she
my
goes,
God.
Bill, it's the Sistine Chapel. And then all I could say was this. I just go, no, it isn't. and then it was funny. Then I walked in, and I looked up, and I didn't even like it. It's not even that big. It's like the size of the side of this fucking thing. He milked it. It should have taken way less time. I'm telling you, they were paying him by the fucking hour.
And I'm in a bar called the 17.
No, I have a lot of those. I have a lot. Oh, Jesus, don't die on us, man.
No, I can imagine the room before it, you're like 15 and 16.
I thought it was the 16 Chapel.
And they say being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they drill for oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. The out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater
in it.
Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
You know, it was another good one. You know what the best ones? Like most of my friends, we all got busted for drinking and driving. The best one was a buddy of mine. They read his, and it was like, approximately 4 a.m, we noticed a maroon VW Fox blowing its horn, trying to pass on the right. We pulled the defendant over. After repeatedly asking the defendant to stay in the car, he got out of the car, threw his keys at my feet, and repeatedly stated, "Lock me up, I'm fucked up." And this was funny. My buddy was a good-looking guy, and the judge was a woman. And when the guy read that, lock me up, I'm fucked up, and he wasn't the brightest guy, and he just he went like, ugh. He like put his head down like that, and he was little pound puppy fucking looking dude, and she gave him like a lighter sentence, and
because he was good looking.
I think so. Yeah, I mean that all plays in. That's why ugly people are complaining so much. Like they won't take the time to develop a fucking personality, write some jokes, do what the rest of us have to do. Like I don't get mad at Brad Pitt. How come he fucking? Because he's fucking beautiful. I'm a fucking bald, red-headed male. I know where I am in the pecking order. And some of these fucking people who are complaining right now, who are mad that beautiful people get treated differently. I understand racially speaking, but you're not going to do the beautiful thing. And then that's another thing they try to say. Well, society tries to, they're the ones that fucking do, like I love when there's a supermodel, like this is like an impossible standard of beauty to try and live up to. Yeah. That's why she's on the cover of a magazine. She's that level beautiful. And you're going to try and sit there and tell me that was learned.
Well, here's the thing. That's only women. Because when you see Jason Momoa playing Aquaman, you don't hear men saying that's an impossible standard of beauty that we have to
No, I just make fun of that fucking stupid thing he has to hang on to. I don't care how much you can kick my ass. That is the dumbest shit. You should be on a fucking cereal box.
It's a trident.
For years, they had a problem like with Aquaman. It's like he's in the ocean. Human beings are on Earth. Like, what do we? Like, I have to see that fucking movie. What are they going to be? Is it going to be like Japanese people like finning? Is he going to save sharks?
He goes underwater. Is that his skin? Like, well, the bumps? What is that? Is that a suit?
Doesn't water get in the gloves? you think that would have to be all one piece, right?
Yeah.
That would be annoying as shit. Is anything worse than water in your gloves?
Well, look, it looks like it catches them, like a water catcher. Like, not just like water gets in the gloves. It's like a funnel.
He looks like a stripper at a bachelorette party.
He does. A good one. Like, you paid money. You got a good one. Guy dieted down for that.
Yeah, James Comey, the former director of the FBI.
I just know he's 6'8", which was hilarious.
Humongous.
I just pictured him in the police academy, like when he had to go over that giant wall, him just like stepping over it. And he had to buy like one of those custom sweatshirts.
Huge legs.
Yeah, at some point, aren't you too tall to be a cop? You can't be, he's gonna be on undercover, just his whole head sticking out of the car. What's with that 7-foot guy over there who keeps following us around? I'm starting to feel like you can't blend in at 6'8", right?
I really don't trust beautiful women. You know why? Because they're only around when you have shit. It's like the second you get some, if you don't have anything going on, you're just like hanging out with trolls and shit, you know what I mean? But the second you get some shit going on, they come out of the woodwork like, oh my God, you have some stuff. Can you buy me some stuff? And then the second you go broke, they're like, oh my God, I left something over here. You know, it's just a real fucking turnoff. Ah.
On ABC, please welcome our buddy Norm MacDonald. You have a theme and everything.
That was funny when you said Pee Wee Herman. Everybody laughed because they still think of him.
Well, never mind.
Because he's trying to get his career back going.
Well,
but
he's doing fine.
I have no problem. Actually, what he did in that movie theater, because it was a dirty movie theater, I think it was kind of like just applause. You know what I mean? Like in a regular. But it's funny how everybody still remembers that, even though he's trying to get his career back.
Yes. And he'll appreciate you bringing it up.
Well, I'm sorry.
Now, how is your summer going?
Great,
Summer's going
man.
well? What are you doing? What have you been up to? What do you do? You're a big star. You got a TV show. What kind of hip celebrity things do you do?
I've been doing kind of like celebrity. I played celebrity softball with Kevin.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That was cool, man.
And,
your buddy got hurt, right?
That's right. My buddy got hurt.
Yeah.
Man, my buddy Artie, right? And he was sliding into third base. And he like cracked his ankle.
Ooh.
He broke his ankle.
Yeah.
So then there was this other jackass on our team. This guy from Baywatch, remember that dude? And so he thought it was like a joke. So he started like fake humping my buddy. My buddy's like, ah!
Oh, men, huh?
But then I went in I'm doing a lot of celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
And I went in a celebrity golf tournament.
You play golf, yeah?
Yeah, I suck at it, though. I'm real bad.
Yeah.
But because I'm a celebrity, as you know, I get to play, right?
Yeah. So you play with, like, civilians? People pay big money to get a chance to play with you?
To get a chance to play with me. And it's like me. This is how it works. It's me. I'm the celebrity, as you know. Yeah. The golf pro, and then this businessman that spends a lot of money to get the celebrity. And so I go to they show me where to go, right, to meet my club pro and my my businessman. And so then I go there, and the businessman's there, and he's talking to me. He goes, hey, I wonder who our celebrity is, right? So it's very embarrassing when you have to identify yourself as the celebrity, right? It's horrible. So I'm like, no, I'm a celebrity, right? He goes, you are? And I go, yeah, no, I swear to God, I am, right? And so it was horrible. Like, as we're playing golf, I'm trying to convince him. And then meanwhile, the guy the businessman up in the next hole in front of us, he had Chachi, you know? Chachi?
Scott Bale.
Yeah.
Scott Bale.
Yeah.
Sure, Chachi. Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name, and this dude couldn't either, but he's like, hey, Chachi. He's all excited, because that's why he paid all the money, to see an actual celebrity.
Chachi, sure.
Yeah, and he's got me, and he's like, he keeps looking, hey, man, that's Chachi, right? And so I just want to make him feel like, so I go, yeah, I know him. I don't know him, really. But I want the famous businessman to get something out of this for his money, right?
Get all that dough, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yeah, I know Chachi. I go, he's shy in real life and just making up stuff, you know? So then we get clogged up. The 16th's an island green, so you know people get clogged up at the hole. When you know it, I'm sitting there's Chachi. So the businessman, hey, can you introduce me to Chachi, right? And we still don't know the guy's real name. So I can't say, hey, businessman, Chachi, you know? So I had to go and whisper to Chachi. It was a horrible moment. But I had to go, listen, man, the guy doesn't know really doesn't even believe I'm a celebrity. I don't know your name. It was a horrible thing. But it turned out all right. Everybody had a good time.
Sure.
And we went and visited some sick kids, and they didn't recognize me either. It was horrible. It was like a sick child, and I'm like wasting his last precious moments trying to describe who I am.
It's nice to see you're doing a lot of good in the world.
I'm trying. I need to become a bigger celebrity.
Yeah. Well, you're from Canada.
I want to become a big enough celebrity where like I can get a liver right away if I need a liver ever. You know what I mean? Where I'm not gonna be on no waiting list. I just be that guy gets a liver. You know? Once I get that famous, I'm gonna start boozing. You know, getting people to punch me in the liver and everything.
But you're a big celebrity in Canada. That's your home country.
Oh, yeah.
Like many Canadians, sure.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Canada, you're huge.
Yeah, I'm somewhat. No, I'm not real huge, but I'm a bit of a celebrity there. Yeah.
So what did you do when you first moved to the U.S.? Well, what was like one of the first things?
The first thing I did the show International Star Search. You know the show Star Search with Ed McMahon? He had this one International Star Search. So I went on that, and I was from Canada. You know, I represented Canada,
Yeah, sure.
and then I was on against a dude from Africa, and another dude from Australia.
Right.
And man, I sucked. I was horrible, you know. And the dude, they were like super international, you know. They were like, the guy from Africa had like a whole tribal thing,
Like
a
a
robe.
dashiki, the whole bit.
Yeah, and he had a hat.
Right.
And same with the guy from Australia. He had like a safari thing and a hat. And I didn't have a hat. And also...
Were you supposed to do material about your country?
Yeah, you were supposed to do it about Canada. I didn't realize till I got there. And my jokes all sucked, you know. And oh my God, nobody laughed. And not even Ed McMahon, he didn't even laugh.
Yeah, Ed laughs at anything.
I know, that's the guy's job.
Well, you know, we called Ed, and Ed was kind enough to send us. We have
you got that thing?
Oh, we have.
No, I don't want to see that.
No, here, take a look. No,
I
here.
hate that,
No,
Jay.
look, it's good. Take a look. Here you are.
A USA welcome to Norm MacDonald.
Thanks, good to be here. I'm feeling great. I finally quit smoking, you know, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I smoked ever since I was a kid, so it's kind of tough for me, you know. I remember once I was 8 years old, little kid, behind my garage, sneaking a cigarette back there, and my dad caught me. He hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strap into my life, you know. What he did is he pulled out a big cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this giant cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy.
What was your numerical score? Do you remember?
I got 3/4 of a star. There was four, I figured out how it happened. There was 4 judges. 3 of them must have given me 1, and one dirty bastard gave me 0. And I think it was that Robin Leach son of a bitch.
You know, there's a lot of those self-hating Canadians. Now tell us about the Norm Show. You look like you're having fun.
Oh yeah, the Norm Show. Yeah, that's on the TV. It's
now you know something.
It's called Norm now. They had to change
the Norm Show. Do you have trouble memorizing your lines sometimes?
Yeah, I suck so bad at that. Man.
Oh yeah.
I'm the worst.
Do you try?
First, they were going to call. This is a weird thing. They were going to call the dude Dave, the guy I played, Dave, the character Dave.
Right.
And I could never, every time a dude said, another dude in the scene went, "Hey, Dave," I wouldn't even look, you know? And then they go, cut, they're wasting all this money, you know? So then finally the director goes, "Can't we just call him Norm," you know? But, yeah, no, memorizing, holy Lord. Every script probably has like 600-700 words in it. And
Right.
you have to memorize them all in order.
Oh, in order. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh, that's tough, yeah.
And I'm just used to talking like you know, just showing up being a jackass. No, I didn't mean you, Jay, but me. I'm used to.
No, I understand. I'm saying that.
No, I didn't mean you. I meant me.
Sure.
But I'm just used to going on talking and being, you know, doing my stand-up. And then you don't have to memorize everything word for word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I remember.
And I don't have a paper in front of me.
No, right. No, but you have a, but see, it's blank. There's nothing on there. It's a blank piece of paper. Look at that. You see that? Now, you know what I want to ask you about? I read, because you play a social worker on this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I read some social workers were they were protesting you.
Yeah. The actual social workers showed up and protested because when we wrote the show, like I wrote a lot of the show, and I don't know anything about social work. And a lot of people told me, "Hey, you should research." And I said, "Wow, how boring would that be, you know?" So I just pretend I was a social worker, and now they're protesting. But you know, they're only social workers. They're not that dangerous. Not like, no, I mean, you know, if it was like The Sopranos, it'd be like mob dudes would show up. Third Rock would be horrible space aliens protesting, you know, that could eat you.
They're harmless social workers.
Yeah, they're harmless unless you're.
Well, the show is very funny and it's a big hit.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I didn't mean you were a jackass.
That's fine. I am a jackass. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. Right back with Jason Biggs right after this.
This is where we do jokes. This is a section where we do jokes. It's kind of comic relief.
Okay.
So this is a topical joke about the flight, but you just read it. You don't read ahead.
Oh, no?
You can if you want.
Malaysian Flight 370 is still missing. You know where they're going to find it? The last place they look. The pilot's last words, "I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane." That could be, yeah, that could be. You're giving me these great jokes, okay. Here's what I've learned. You beat up and toss one 19-year-old Hispanic hooker out of a moving car, and they never let you forget it. Isn't that true? That is funny.
That's both funny and true.
That's too dirty. Let's do a nice joke to clean it up.
Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff. You should let me read this ahead. Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff his cock in them. Oh, wait, that's just assholes. It didn't get a laugh, but I'm laughing. That's very funny.
Well, this Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town.
That one I liked. That was my favorite. I'm keeping this.
That is a favorite.
I read a story. A 17-year-old kid who stole a plane, crashed it, and survived. Why don't we make the whole plane out of that kid? That seems logical, right?
Makes sense, right? There you go. Adam Egan.
Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but I invented the light bulb up my ass.
Always ahead of his time.
Oh, come on, man.
I used to think revenge was a dish best served cold, but then I realized it meant getting back at somebody.
Okay, now we'll see this joke. This
made
is
me
a
laugh
joke.
again out loud.
This
just
is
reading
this
it
show.
to myself.
This show is so high quality that we take jokes from the dustbins.
Barbara Walters announced that she's retiring from The View. Well, actually, she announced it 5 years ago, but no one could hear her over those yammering bitches. See? Accomplished comedian.
What is accomplished?
Did you write this one?
This is not against
Accomplished.
This is not against anybody.
Accomplished comedian Sinbad has announced he's filing for bankruptcy for the second time.
The second time.
Oh, God, it's so retarded. Sounds like things have gone from sin bad to sin worse.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, you didn't need no fucking acid and shit. That's a good one.
I think my doctor might be retarded.
Why?
His name is Dr. Retardo.
Oh.
It's a good chance. One of the most popular documentaries on Netflix. One of the most popular documentaries on Netflix is Jiro
Dreams of Sushi?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
I've seen that. It's very good.
That's you
a
have?
fantastic documentary.
One of the least popular documentaries, Jiro Nightmares of Asteroid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That
unwatchable.
I liked it, the DVD commentary.
This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
Right? He has to have the thickest fucking cock.
It's true.
This reminds me of your kind of joke.
All right.
Just from hearing you read jokes.
Oh, I like this. I like the theme that this one has. A man in Taiwan reportedly cut off his own penis to win an argument with his wife. That reminds me of that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond forgot Deborah's birthday and had to cut his own cock off. Oh my God.
What about this? This is what you were talking about earlier, 42.
I love the movie 42. It's Chadwick Boseman like you've never seen him before. Of course, you've never seen him before. I get that.
Yeah.
Apparently, someone in Germany stole 5 metric tons of Nutella. Police haven't arrested anyone yet, but they are questioning Gunther Hogsbargen, the 700-pound man that smells like chocolate and hazelnuts, who guards the Nutella storage system. That's funny.
Larry, you'll like this one.
Wasn't too bad.
Amanda Bynes is a lush blonde who's quickly turning into a blonde lush. See, I tend to laugh at my own. If you were a Russian prostitute on a date with serial killer Andrei Chikatilo, a.k.a. the Rostov Ripper, and he couldn't achieve an erection, that was not your lucky day.
No.
The Al-Qaeda online magazine Inspire has a recipe for a homemade bomb. They also have a recipe for a pretty darn good peach cobbler.
So they're not all bad, you know?
I crack up when I see a funny joke and I hear it. You know.
China's government has reported they have lost over 28,000 rivers in the past decade.
That's weird.
That is weird.
My theory is they sold it into the sordid world of underground river sex trafficking.
That's a really good punchline. A very suspect premise.
You know, I'm old enough to remember back to simpler, more innocent times when the worst thing you'd hear about the news was hijacked jetliners flying into buildings.
Oh, now, Gilbert, you're going to get into trouble again.
I spoke to Johnny.
Oh,
He loved it.
Is that right?
Yes.
I think there's nothing cooler than being a lone wolf, except at wolf picnics when you don't have a partner for the wolf wheelbarrow races.
There you
go. A new study shows that most men can identify a gay man by his face alone. It's the face that's buried in another man's asshole.
It's about your friend.
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free. He is, isn't he?
In my opinion, if we're going to fight the war on terror, a good place to start would be our country's haunted houses.
I feel that could be in your act almost.
Any of these could be in my act, and they will be. Tomorrow is National Secretary's Day.
Which is true.
Is that right? I plan on getting my secretary the same thing I always do, a big fat goosing.
The man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger. Sadly, the man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger died at 64. His last words, "I don't feel great." I gave it something. Yeah. Are these left over from when you did updates? Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for the cover of Rolling Stone except for a hat hanging off his wiener. And this morning, Adam Egat. Oh, is that your name? Fucking change it. And this morning, Adam woke up and said, "Hey, where's my hat?"
Sorry, Neil Patrick Harris' cock.
It's on his dick. Go get it.
It's there the whole time, man.
Playboy magazine has done away with the nude photo layouts altogether. In other words, they've eliminated ladies in the altogether altogether.
Oh man.
That's a sort of radio DJ joke, I feel.
The way you
we have to
your
deliver
voice,
with that, right?
delivered it.
In other words,
amazing.
they've eliminated ladies in the altogether altogether. Here's Taylor Swift.
When you're single trying to attract a partner, it's important to project the qualities you desire, which I understand, but boy, oh boy, have I had to suck a lot of dick lately.
That's sort of like a Bobby Lee joke. It is a lot like a Bobby Lee. All right. You know, you ever hear of steampunk?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, there's a joke for you.
I wouldn't call myself a fan of steampunk, but I will say it's the healthiest way to prepare punk.
Do you diet sometimes?
I know, but do you
go on diets and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so this is sort of a diet joke a little bit.
I'm so sorry. Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love
Wait, stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is something exciting. Our next guest made his stand-up debut. I did not remember that. This man began his television stand-up debut with us 25 years ago.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Very talented actor. Nobody funnier. Ladies and gentlemen, Norm MacDonald.
Thanks, guys. Listen, I don't want to brag or anything, but me and Oprah are making the same money tonight. But the show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. And I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You know, you tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse by the big acid companies, that's all it is. But I can't believe it's been a quarter century since I made my television debut. It was all different back then. You know, it was back then, I remember if you wanted to take a picture, you would use a camera, not a telephone. As a matter of fact, if you used a telephone, people would look at you odd. You know that? Just stay still like that. What about in the old days when they took pictures of you way back, you know, where they pulled that thing and exploded and stuff? I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours. Take your picture, and there's a picture of my great-grandfather, one. They only had, every guy had one picture back then. And it's just him like. I gotta get back, feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs? Somebody gotta feed them hogs. Now, in the future, of course, it'll be different. 50 years from now, people will be going like, hey, you want to see 100,000 pictures of my great-grandfather? I got him right here, plus everything he did every day of his life. Hey, this occurred to me today. ID, which I had to show it again. There's a strange abbreviation when you think about it. I is short for I. And then D is short for dentification. They could have split that one up a little better, you know? But I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, you know, try to scare you, you know? But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? Why'd I have to watch that stupid show? There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. That had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy, and I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But you'd think at that point the world would go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world. I mean, what do you think, you're Mars or something? Anyways, listen, folks, this will be my last time on the David Letterman show, I understand. And you guys, we all know that David Letterman was the greatest talk show host who ever lived. But I remember Dave differently because the first time I saw him, I was 13 years old. I was living in... I was living in Toronto, Canada, and I went to a talk show they had there. And David Letterman was the stand-up comedian on the show. And I loved stand-up. And David Letterman did this joke that I told everybody this joke. I love this joke. It still stays with me as my favorite stand-up joke ever. So I'd like to do it for you if you'd like to hear it. He goes, I was on the street the other day, and I saw a garbage truck, and on the back of the garbage truck, there was a small sign that said, "Please do not follow too closely." Another of life's simple pleasures ruined by a meddling bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen. You remember the old days when Dad would pile the kids in the station wagon and we'd all go out and follow a garbage truck? So anyways, I'd just like to say, I know that Mr. Letterman is not for the mawkish, and he has no truck for the sentimental, but if something is true, it is not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Norm. Oh, my God.
Very funny, Norm. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. That was very sweet, Norm. Good night, everybody.
Now, stay tuned for James Corden. This is Alan.
At Virginia Commonwealth University, a professor is being sued following revelations that he spanked one of his students. It was the student's parents who first became suspicious when they asked, "What kind of marks are you getting?" And she replied, "Big red ones on my ass."
This is what's the problem with our society, though.
What is it?
When they go, "Hey, the hardest job in the world is being a mom."
It is
or
pretty
the hardest
hard.
job in the world is being a teacher.
It's hard jobs.
That's not.
They're hard jobs.
My mom was a teacher. Let me
She
tell
had
you
the two
something.
hardest jobs. I think
She had the
cooking is a harder
easiest
job.
The teacher is probably the easiest job on the planet.
Why?
Let me
How can
explain
you
why.
say that?
First of all, my mother and my father were both teachers. They got all the you get all the vacations that children do. You're
Mhm.
always off. You have the entire summer. You have 2 weeks Christmas, 2 weeks Easter. You work in an atmosphere where it's just you and children.
With young, stupid, with short, stupid people.
Yeah.
They don't know much. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't have to learn anything.
They're all frightened of you. You can say anything you want.
You never take a test.
See, I don't know if you've ever
That's
gone.
true.
I go now. When I was a kid, I thought my teachers were so smart. Now I have a kid. I meet these teachers. They're not smart at all.
How can you say that?
Because it's true.
They're just like regular goofy people.
Well, that's,
and they
that's
have
what
the
you
and
realize.
they have the only. My kid's teacher went crazy, and they could not fire her because of.
Because the job's so hard, the kids made her crazy.
Yeah, but she has whatever you call it, tenure. They don't have that in any other job.
No, I know.
They have a union that has a stranglehold on.
They got to fire you before your tenure starts.
Yeah.
That's one of the
They got to
things.
fire you from the easiest job ever. And
Your
those
babysitter's funny.
Those are heroes. Those are also the heroes. They're like the real heroes are the moms and the teachers.
Well, they are.
Not the guys on Iwo Jima planting the flag.
Okay, they were heroes too.
Not the firemen that run into buildings. No.
No one's denying that
It's a
those
teacher.
people are heroic.
It's a person that
A
shows
good-
up at a school
a
and is the
good
tallest person in the
teacher.
class.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's a good
I'm
one you
telling
got.
My mom and dad were both teachers. It's the simplest job in the world. When I was a kid, I thought everyone got that much vacation. I was like shocked to learn that I thought everyone had the summer off. I thought everyone had 3 weeks off for Christmas.
Well, when you're doing your own sitcoms, surely you have 6 months a year off. I mean, that has to be teacher-esque.
Exactly. It's teacher-esque.
Don't they say that having a sitcom is about the closest you can get?
That's about the hardest job in the world.
No, shut up.
Yeah, those are
That's
the real
easy
heroes.
fun. Oh my God, you're making the people laugh. 805 says, "Rude. I'm a second grade teacher and I hate you."
Rude. That sounds like a second grade teacher.
No, Jimmy, that was just rude. Can we think of another way to say that?
To be a second grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically you need third grade intelligence. To teach second grade. You know everything that they need to know. But a fourth grade teacher, you know.
Let's take a couple of calls here. Actually, a couple texts. If you only need third grade intelligence to teach second grade, I wonder what Norm would say about me, a preschool teacher.
Well, it's kind of obvious.
And the 503 says, Norm, thanks for Dirty Work, still one of the greatest movies ever.
What do I need to teach children how to nap?
Nagy, you're on the air. It says here, being a teacher, super duper hard work.
Yeah, you know, I was an attorney for several years. I went to Bolt Law School, and I quit being an attorney to be a teacher. And being a teacher is much more difficult work.
Is it super duper hard?
That's what it says here.
You know, I did not say super duper hard. That was either a Human.
Yeah, Human put that in your subject line.
There.
Do you talk about your childhood a lot? Because I was reading about you the other day, and when you were in high school, your father was your homeroom teacher?
Oh, yeah, probably in grade school, yeah.
Oh.
How'd that work out?
Was he mean and strict?
He was a tough guy, yeah. He was tough. He was tough. He was, it was odd. He didn't graduate from school himself. Because he was old when he had me. He was like 50, so he was in World War II.
Yeah.
And so, you know, grew up in the Depression, and then he went to World War II, and then he came back, and they said, oh, we have this special thing, you'd be a teacher, you know. But he only had like a grade 9 education.
And they let him be a teacher?
Well, he was teaching grade 5, so he was highly overqualified.
This was in Quebec, right?
Yeah, Quebec. If I could say one thing about the real heroes of the country, which I believe are the teachers, you know. I don't believe they're the real heroes. I misspoke again. I think the real heroes are the real heroes. Teachers, they get good press though, because people often say to me, you know who the real heroes are? I go, are they the real heroes? They go, no. I go, oh, they're the teachers. It's counterintuitive that it doesn't seem like a heroic job, but yes. First of all, if you're a teacher, you get the same fucking vacations as a child. You get, what, 4 months a year off? My vacation, I get almost no time off. We're 48 weeks a year. 4 weeks a year I get off. What about you? You're not one of those fucking teachers, right? You seem like a teacher. Now, are you a teacher? What do you teach? What grade? High school. What grade? What grade? No, but what grade? Not so easy when it's the other way around. It's always easy to ask the questions. The real heroes are the fucking students. I actually have to answer the question. Now, what grade do you teach? 9 through 12. So you need a grade 13 education. No, you're the real hero. No, you're the real hero. No, I'm just kidding. You're the real hero. Her husband's like, you're not the real hero. Shut the fuck up. I know, it's a fun thing to say. But what do you do? What do you do for a living that your wife's the real hero? What? You know you're not the actual real hero, don't you? You look obsessed. Did you see how upset she is? So you actually feel you're the real hero? See, I think you've disqualified yourself a little. Because I believe real heroes don't think they are. Because when you hear the real heroes, they go, how the fuck did you run into that fucking fire and pull a guy out? You're a hero. And they go, no, it's the teachers. Not me. I'm a little
scared now. I gotta go lie down. Gotta pull the guy out of a fire. That's a good job. Come on. Everybody's shorter than you. Are you gonna work for it? You have to do whatever the fuck you said. No, I'm sorry. What did you say? What? Oh. That's an odd word for a school teacher to use. People that were teaching our young children were bandying around words like retard. I'm just kidding. No, they do a lot of good. You know what I read, actually, though? A serious statistic. They actually fuck more students than... a hero. Well, they actually fuck more students, if you can believe this, than priests. You know how priests... Nobody likes priests. Nobody's going around to a priest to the real hero. And yet, actual priests, who I know, I'm not a Catholic, but I know pastors, you know, and my God, they most of them that I know do the Lord's work, you know. I mean, they go out and they're in hospitals and stuff, and they're doing stuff, and for no money, you know, and no recognition, and it's got to kill them, like going, yeah, people think fuck kids. Like, if I was a priest, man, I just let it be known. Like, I do a TV commercial. I go, hey, listen, I'm Father Norm here. Come on down to my church. I won't fuck your kid. I'll tell you that. That's the first thing, I promise you. I'll tell you a little something about myself. I'm Father Norm, as I told you, and 20 years or so ago, I took a vow of chastity. Now, what that means is I cannot have sex with a lady, you know? Now, that's tough, because I like ladies, and especially the ones, you ever see those ones where they press their tits together, kind of, they got a little cleavage on, but they look kind of hoary, but it looks like they don't know they're whores? Anyway, that's my type. Everybody has their own type. The point is, I don't even fuck them, let alone a child, for God's sake. Why would I want to fuck a child? So anyways, now to Father Norm's. I will not fuck your kid. And you can leave your big-titted whore wife at home. I don't need that hanging around asking me questions all the time. It's junkie. You gotta admit, though, the guy that put that flag in the Iwo Jima, he's close. That guy went to the moon. He didn't know that when he got there, the fucking spacecraft would crash, or there'd be moon aliens or shit like that. I mean, I know he's not. I know it's not grade 11 biology, but I mean, it's something. It's something. Imagine any fucking other fucking job, you know, you go, hey, I'm the civil servant, I'm a hero, you know, you're fucking retarded, but teacher. Memorize this shit. Back tomorrow, and then you gotta tell it to me. Remember everything I say, and then you repeat it to me. I got some problems for you. I know you're a child, and that you don't have any problems. That's the cool thing about being a child, but guess what? You fucking got some now. On account of I've got some heroic work to do for you. Sure, you're a nice lady. Very, very heroic. But, listen, guys. In science, do you teach Newton? Isaac Newton? You know, what are you, retard? Isaac Newton? There's kind of the hero that called me a retard is actually a retard herself. Everything's turned on its elbow. I'm sorry, what? A treadmill? Have I seen one? Wait, I don't even get it. It's not good when people are groaning and I don't understand it. No, have I ever seen a treadmill? Yes, of course. You mean the things you walk on? Yeah, I've seen it millions of times. What? Maybe I am a retard. Yeah, you walk on them. They're in gyms and they don't. No, that's not a treadmill. You remind me of these fucking teachers I used to have. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have seen a treadmill, no matter what you say. It's a thing you walk on and then, right? You're not, what? You wouldn't be sure that I'd seen a treadmill? Well, you see, you're probably very bad at grading people. At some point when you ask a student a question, and they give you an answer, you have to take them on faith. Well, there'd be no motive for me to lie about that answer. I've seen dozens, hundreds of them. I don't want to brag, but you know, I've been around. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen treadmills you wouldn't understand. Baby, I don't think I'll ever see you. I'm not Catholic, but I know.
You have a priest anyway?
I know a priest.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for them because most of them don't fuck children. I just want to put that on the record, that more teachers fuck children than priests, and yet teachers are heroes and
finally someone brave enough to say it, which is great.
And finally, in Burien, Washington, elementary school teacher Mary Kay Letourneau pled guilty this week to having sex with a 6th grade student whose child she bore in May. Miss Letourneau has been branded as a sex offender, or as the kids refer to her, the greatest teacher ever.
Telling a joke.
The latest Archie comic shows gay character Kevin kissing his boyfriend Devin. Another barrier will be broken next month when, in a dream sequence, Jughead will be show fisting Betty Crocker.
God damn, you're illiterate.
It's a show fit. No. Oh, you're right.
Will be shown.
Yeah,
will be shown.
They forgot to write the end there. Listen, whenever someone says, I have a couple irons in the fire, I think, is one of them a job writing blacksmithing metaphor? What? Why are these
I
all
don't know.
fucking...
I don't know.
That's funny.
But we're going to end...
Schoolgirls kidnapped by extremists in Nigeria have been forced to marry their kidnappers. And worse than that, they've been forced to laugh at their husbands' stories, even after hearing them for the umpteenth time.
You know something.
Yeah, I know.
It's very hard to make a joke about those girls who are kidnapped. When I hear about those things, that is one of the worst. You know,
And yet you got a big laugh.
George Clooney's engaged. The rich and handsome 53-year-old told reporters, "It's time for me to settle down and start officially cheating on a heartsick and disillusioned spouse."
I don't hear any laughter.
Well,
I love George Clooney so much that he can do no wrong. He's just one of the good.
I can do a lot of wrong.
He's just one of the good human beings in the world.
A good name for a dog is Syndrome. That then when he tries to attack someone, you can yell "Down, Syndrome."
Don't laugh.
It's not.
I apologize.
I mean, it's yeah.
That's like
it was a little insensitive, I guess. In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday?
Whatever.
There's going to be a Broadway musical based on the movie Rocky. I don't know if you guys heard about this. In the Broadway musical version of the show, after Rocky climbs the steps of the art museum, he goes inside and spends 2 hours looking at paintings.
Yeah, I know, goddamn.
Goes inside and looks at what? Paintings?
He looks at paintings.
I like
for
that.
2
That's a good
hours.
one.
2 women accused of using sorcery have been beheaded in a remote village in Papua New Guinea. A team of police rushed to the scene but were forced to stand by and watch the victims being decapitated with axes as locals refused to let them come to their aid. Norm, if you ever go to a remote village in Papua New Guinea, at all costs, avoid using sorcery.
I didn't understand any of that.
Maybe you'll have me
Everyone
back.
stopped listening like 3 minutes in.
Mondays aren't actually worse than any other day, according to a group of researchers who've never read a Garfield comic.
Fred?
Workers at a Harvard University library have discovered a book that's bound with human skin.
Ew.
I know,
God
it's disgusting.
almighty.
Anyway, they were able to determine that part of the body the skin came from after the book was grabbed by a sexy librarian and immediately expanded to 3 times its size. 3 times its size.
Maybe if he didn't start
Does
there,
that
maybe
mean it was made from a penis?
Yeah.
Oh.
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle is ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass F***ers? It's actually... you don't hear any more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who is stonewalling this investigation? I'm thinking about a year I would work on my delivery, but it's just not working out. I think the joke
You don't
is
hear any
that,
more about Bob Costas' infected eye? Who's stonewalling this investigation?
he's a consummate amateur.
Yeah.
You want to do that one?
Yeah. Adam?
One day in the hopefully not too distant future, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is going to hear a loud popping sound, the sound of his head coming out of his ass.
Adam's very kind. Adam is the kindest guest to you so far.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah. Just in case he's still booking Tempe.
So this week I learned by Adam.
Invited back to the comedy table.
These are always fun. This week I learned, just because I masturbated to that picture of a guy falling to his death on 9/11 doesn't mean I have to share it. This week I learned you can pay your dentist with blowjobs.
Who knew that, right?
That's what I found out this week.
But you won't feel it because of the Novocaine.
All right, I learned 2 things this week.
Is that easier?
This week I learned that cum tastes like nickels.
Oh.
This week. Is that true?
That cum tastes like nickels?
Yeah. That's funny. Is that what it says?
That's what it says here.
This week I learned how many gallons of sweat my Kmart hat can hold. Jesus Christ.
We'll be back with the ever funny Adam Egan.
Okay, get ready to laugh.
Why is it so different to find pornography about people in stable monogamous relationships?
Why is it so what?
Different?
Different? Difficult. Damn.
Start all over, and the joke still works.
Oh my God.
Earlier this week, Aaron Jackson of Topeka, Kansas, painted his house the colors of the Gay Pride rainbow flag in direct protest of the Westboro Baptist Church. When that didn't seem to work, Jackson fucked 3 of his best buds on his front lawn.
Homophobic.
Yeah.
Well, I think it shows
earlier he
solidarity.
was racist, and now he's homophobic.
Well, I think of this. Former Tennessee Titans cheerleader Elizabeth Lee Garner, 42, is accused of pulling a 12-year-old boy's pants off and offering him oral sex. The boy refused her advances not because he was 12, but because he was a die-hard Colts fan.
This is what I have to work with, you know?
Chipotle has canceled its planned sponsorship of the Utah Boy Scout event due to the BSA's ban on gay leaders and scouts. Ironic how an all-male anti-gay organization would want to put hot, thick loads of beef and sour cream in their mouth.
Okay. We get the idea. You hate gay guys.
So I'm a guest on there, and now it's time to introduce the next guest. And she says, okay, this next guy coming out, he's a great actor. He was in Risky Business. He was done all kinds of stuff. I just love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pantaleone. And he comes out, and as he's walking across the stage toward the desk, she goes, oh, I know who he is.
Other than this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I may act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need.
If you're walking down the sidewalk and there's somebody coming the other way in a wheelchair, do you have a look, or do you no, I'm going to act normal?
Well, I look at the guy, and I hope to God my face isn't making all kinds of twitches.
I like to hedge my bets. I don't want to ignore him, so I'll look at him, but I'll like scowl or something.
Really?
You know?
It's the same joke.
Oh, is it? I mean, it's like...
It's time to do jokes. This is where we put in a big thing, jokes.
Yeah.
So here, you can
Does
start.
it flash? Does it have
You
exclamation
can start.
mark?
Just do the joke right into that camera.
And who wrote these? You got me just doing jokes.
Just read a joke.
Unsolicited. Is this from that joke book, that 1942?
No, this is a real joke.
2 businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million are racist, according
they're
to this.
Fine, man. They did not fool that flight of stairs that collapsed under my astonishing new girth.
Who writes these?
I'm fat now.
Where do they come from?
A man in Chipata allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor that would help him become rich. Is it me, or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots?
I think maybe they were in cahoots.
Gee, who writes these?
Huh?
We should have this person locked up and looked at, or at least looked at. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off her virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life. That's good.
That ain't
That's
bad.
good.
That ain't
who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. How about this one?
I know who writes them. You know who writes them? Prison, men in prison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to Tom.
You wrote all these, Norm, or you sit up and write all these, or? Music is the universal language, but one day soon it will be replaced by Chinese.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, we got some jokes.
All right, but
that's all right.
But are these street jokes?
No.
So you wrote them?
They're not. Someone wrote them.
Some of them wrote that you know.
Yeah, some people in this room.
Okay, cool.
Some people in this
Thank
room.
you.
I don't want to say who, because in case the joke doesn't work.
Okay, all right. Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love
Wait,
these
stop.
laughs. I love these laughs. It's just weird, right? Some of them are odd. I'm not going to lie to you.
This is a joke.
Well, some of them.
But this is a joke.
I think technically.
Like an observational joke?
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, Whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way right there. That's the old, the Norm MacDonald lean in. Whores.
No. All right, listen, man. A lot of people talk about masturbating to the Sears catalog when they were younger, you know?
Yes, I've looked through them.
You know, because nowadays with the porn and everything. But I'm a lot older than that. Back in my days, you actually had to go to a Sears store and fucking whack off.
To the mannequins.
I don't know. I used to love mannequins.
That doesn't make sense because Sears started as a catalog.
It did?
Yeah.
Sears.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That didn't make sense.
Did you write that one?
But you're right, though, because you know what? They used it in the old outhouses. They would use the Sears catalog as toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Because the paper was so thin, probably.
Hey, a cowboy at a rodeo in Georgia used his lasso to apprehend a gunman. At least this is according to a recent segment of America's hottest new game show. Georgia Police Blotter or episode synopsis from Walker, Texas Ranger.
It's so long. I know. Too long. It wasn't beaded out properly. Where did these come from?
Hey, All My Children star Matthew Cowles. You ever watch All My Children?
Sure.
Well, All My Children star Matthew Cowles has died at the age of 69.
Oh.
Or has he?
Oh.
It's what is All My Children called? It's called a
soap opera.
Soap opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soap opera.
Where do you get these jokes?
Some guy.
A Pakistani father stoned his daughter to death for marrying a man of her own choosing, which means Pakistan's tourism board is going to have to find a new slogan to replace "Come to Pakistan." 3 whole days without anyone being brutally stoned to death by her own father.
You like that one?
These are Norm MacDonald.
No, here, this is an actual joke.
That's what I was laughing at.
Mark, this is an actual joke. This is an actual
These are
joke.
Norm jokes.
This is an actual joke. The only things certain in life are death, taxes, and getting caught whacking off in a Target dressing room.
Are these your tips?
I learned that the hard way. You want to read a joke?
Yeah, man. Who wrote these jokes?
We can't say.
I'd like to do something about a film or something. Oh, good.
How do you know that fact? How do you know that fact?
Glanced and saw.
I'm a good cheater. Fast and Furious 6 opens next week. The cast is getting a little older. It's less fast and furious and more like brisk and peeved.
Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? That's not right. There you go.
Do you have a writing staff?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
We have Steve O'Donnell.
Steve, these are really good.
To stop a pit bull attacking her daughter, a Texas man bit the dog. Well, that's an interesting story. A man bites a dog. It's not what I would call news.
Man bites dog?
Yeah.
It used to be dog bites man, right?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it. Do you write these for real? Do these come from the fucking YouTube? Are these in the audience? They write them? Did you read them? Did you write them or the audience?
Sure.
No. Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for the cover of Rolling Stone, except for a hat hanging off his wiener. And this morning, Adam Egat. Oh, is that your name? Fucking change it. And this morning, Adam woke up and said, "Hey, where's my hat?"
Sorry, Neil Patrick Harris' cock.
It's on his dick. Go get it.
I bet Neil Patrick Harris fucking shoved his cock deep up his asshole. Huh?
Oh my God.
But he probably couldn't even get it hard because look at him. So he had to like cram it in. Like, you ever have to cram it in? Or no,
Yes.
you probably.
Recent studies show fish can communicate with each other using subtle physical gestures. One of their most common messages, "Let's leave this party early." I don't know, what is that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a subtle, it's fucking his joke. Hey, World Cup. You watch the World Cup?
Oh, I'm wearing one. I'm king here. In World Cup soccer, Mexico defeated Cameroon 1-0, or as it's known in soccer, a blowout.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very low scoring games. You know?
Who wrote these? The enemy? Can't find a joke you like.
What the fuck? This one of them acid flashbacks? I did acid when I was 17 years old, 4 times. That's the last time I did it. And I remember when I did it, everybody would tell me, they go, hey, listen, you gotta be careful because you'll get a flashback. And so I thought, hey, that seems like a pretty good deal. So I went to my drug dealer, Frank. I said, listen, I understand you got a drug on the market now where I give you $5, I get high now, and then I get high 20 years later? Really, that's true, huh? Well, I've always considered myself a chap who likes to stretch his drug dollar, so count me in, good sir. Anyways, I'm here to tell you that 10 years has passed, 20, even 25. And still no flashbacks. Huge jip that turned out to be. Well, what are you gonna do? Just more horse shit by the big acid companies, that's all it really is. I don't want to get all Bill Maher on you here or anything, but if you think the acid companies in this country care about you, the little fella, then you're living in a fool's paradise. All they care about is the third quarter profit. I don't even know what a third quarter profit is, but I know it fits in that sentence. That's what they don't understand. Then whenever they got Pepsi, you go, ah, fuck, I don't want that. You got any other soda pop? They go, yeah, we got root beer. Want some of that? And you're like, well, I'm not 8 years old. I guess I could drink a root beer. You got Sierra Mist. You go, oh man, I was hoping you did. I was going to ask. But I didn't dare to because I didn't think I'd be that fortunate. And then you got the United States. That's a nice country. Then you got fucking Mexico. All kinds of crazy shit. I don't understand. So just whatever. So anyways, my point is I go all across this great continent, except for Mexico, and I try to tell the kids, I say, listen, kids, you might think it's cool now to eat your buddy, but, and it is pretty cool, you hate a fucking guy, everybody's gonna think you're cool for a while. But in the long run, it's a mistake, and I try to, you gotta get them when they're young. But sometimes I think I'm kind of on my high horse when it comes to cannibalism, because I've never really had to deal with it, I've always lived in this greatest country, in this best of all possible worlds, and I've never had to really deal with it because, there's always plenty of cheese sandwiches to eat, But what if you lived in a place where there were no cheese sandwiches, Where there was nothing, no food at all, then, like for instance, you ever hear this place called the Andes? The Andes, they don't got no cheese sandwiches there. They don't got nothing, just snow and rocks. And it's someplace, and what happens is, when people get stranded in the Andes, their views on cannibalism sometimes will take a radical shift. That's why I never go to the Andes. I make a point of never going to the Andes. Some people, they do. They go, listen, travel agent, I want to go somewhere. Me and the wife, Gertrude, we want to go away. And the kids are, they're around all the time and everything. And we seem to have lost we want to rekindle. You ever hear that? And we want to go someplace where there's an island with a hammock. And we thought we'd lie on the hammock, rekindle, and then come back. How does that sound? And also, we want to fly over the Andes to get to that place. Is there anything you got? We'd like a small plane. If you got a small plane, we gotta go in the dead of winter. This is our only conditions that we need. The dead of winter, a small white plane. If it could be white as possible. Is there a plane that you have that's pure white? Anyways, that's their choice. So anyways, they take off on the plane, and of course, naturally, it immediately crashes into the Andes. And nobody's surprised, you know. It even says right on the boarding pass, it goes, lay over a mountain. So, you don't have to be that guy with the big thing to realize that's a clue. Yeah? But Sherlock Holmes. That magnifying glass. I remember both. I remember two things at once. But you get, this is the thing. You gotta, when you're there, then you gotta wrestle with your conscience, you know? Because, and I don't know if you've ever wrestled with your conscience, but I haven't. But I've heard it's very, very tough, you know? A guy was telling me, it's tough. It's not as tough, he said, as wrestling with an actual wrestler, but he said it's still tough. He told me, he said, if you got the choice, and it'll probably never come up, but if you have the choice between wrestling with your conscience and a professionally trained wrestler, then choose your conscience on account of, he's got no arms. Most of wrestling is a headlock. But no, so the plane goes down, and then you gotta wrestle with your conscience. Now, it's hard for people. Now, some people, you know, maybe it's not hard for them. Maybe even as the plane goes down, they'll go, I'm eating that fucker in 34C. I've had my eye on him for a while. That guy looks delicious. But most of us are civilized human beings. So you're there and you're wrestling with your guy. There's the co-pilot, you know? And the first day is easy. You go, I'm not eating him. I don't even fucking like co-pilot. And so, but then days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months and, you know, time works. And finally, it's too much for you. You're just a flesh. And so you gotta eat. But now the problem is you've waited too long, like a couple months. Now you're so hungry, you're just ravenously eating them, you know? You're just like, ah! Now that's the wrong way. Any nutritionist will tell you that that's not good for you. You should eat 6 small portions of co-pilot every day. So you're like, ah! And then you got co-pilot blood all over your chin, dropping onto your fruity blue shirt, you know? And then, isn't that always the time that the rescue helicopter shows up? Am I right? I don't know. How could I know? Nobody knows. But, and then you're like, what the? And then they're like, we got cheese sandwiches. We'll be down in a minute. You're like, ah. God damn. You know what? Imagine you wake up and go, God damn, I got a fucking kid today. I'm way behind on my quota. The boss will be up my ass. I gotta get me a kid. It's a terrible thing, you know. I wouldn't want to be a kid fucker either. I don't like, you know. The thing is, you're attracted to something, and you don't want that to be your type. A child. It's not good. People go, Jim, what do you like in a woman? I like big breasts. I go, don't like to talk about it that much. No, seriously, what's your type? It's not big breasts, it's infants. 1, 2-year-olds. That's my type, I don't know. I always found them very sexually attractive. Well, what are you gonna do? You go, what are you? I go, I'm a Lutheran. You go, what, are you fucking retarded? I'm a Episcopalian. But now, people think you're retarded if you're Christian. Meanwhile, they're willing to accept any other horse shit, you know? Like people go, what sign are you? I go, Libra. They go, that means that you're happy, but sometimes you're sad. Does that sound right? They go, yeah. What is that? I always wondered. And the guy go, well, Neptune. It's cousin Neptune. What happened was, you were born on, I have a chart of the universe I've made up. I made a chart of the universe, and I found out when you were born, and it turns out that Neptune's coaxial orbit was off by 1/3 of a degree. Now that casts a moon over Pluto, and anyway, the upshot of it is you're a happy fellow, but sometimes sad. And you're like, yeah, that's true. Why aren't those people retarded? By the way, when I say retard, obviously, you know, I'm talking about people with Down syndrome. I'm not talking about dumb guys, you know. I wouldn't call them retards. But the only reason I don't say Down syndrome is because I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know what it means. What am I? But I know what retard means. It means retard. That word means arrested, stopped at some point in your development. You know what I mean? And I love retards. That's probably my favorite people in the whole world. Be retard. I don't even see the problem. I don't know what the fuck people feel sorry for them. You know, people go, man, look at that guy over there, laughing, all happy and shit. Poor fucker, he don't realize the horrors of life. If only there were a cure for that. Should be the opposite. I'd fucking inject retard juice into my veins if I could. Awesome, young boy, you know. Beautiful young boy, Simon. And, you know, one of the perks of being a celebrity is that you get to meet a lot of dying children. That's a lot of fun. And you go home and try to sleep. So I've been about a couple of hundred dying children. But anyway, Simon, who's a beautiful boy and will likely meet his savior before he told me this joke, or as he called it, a riddle. He thought I was a riddler. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. He wasn't in good shape. The doctor said he was more virus than host. Now I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good to me. Anyways, he's a good kid. I think he's still with us. And this is his joke that he said I should do, or as he called it, a riddle. But it's not a riddle. It's a joke. He called it a riddle because most of his brainstem is fluid at this point. But this is the joke. I promised to say it to him. And you know, a promise unmade is a debt unpaid. So this is the joke. A dog walks into a telegraph office and he says to the telegraph guy, he goes, hey. No, he doesn't say anything. The telegraph guy says, hey, dog. He says, hey, dog, listen. He says, what do you want me to put on the telegram? So the dog goes, woof, 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 woof. So then the guy writes it down, you know. Then the guy goes, hey, I just noticed you only have 9 words here on your telegram here, dog. He goes, we at the Western Union this week, we got a special, 10 words or less, same price. Hey, we could put an extra woof on the end if you want. And then the dog goes, but that wouldn't make any sense. Why would I want to... What kind of a operation are you running here? All right, listen, folks, you've been wonderful. Good luck out there. Peace. I love you very much.
Yeah, it's time to do jokes. This is where we put in a big thing, jokes.
Yeah.
So here, you can
Does
start.
it flash? Does it have
You
exclamation
can start.
mark?
Just do the joke right into that camera.
And who wrote these? You got me just doing jokes.
Just read a joke.
Unsolicited. Is this from that joke book, that 1942?
No, this is a real joke.
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million
Yeah.
are racist, according
oh, no,
to
they're
this.
fine, man. They did not fool that flight of stairs that collapsed under my astonishing new girth.
Who writes these?
I'm
No,
fat now.
Where do they come from?
A man in Chipata allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor that would help him become rich. Is it me, or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots?
I think maybe they were in cahoots.
Gee, who writes these?
Huh?
We should have this person locked up and looked at, or at least looked at. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off her virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life. That's good.
That ain't
That's
bad.
good.
That ain't
Who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. How about this one?
I know who writes them. You know who writes them? Prison, men in prison.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to Tom.
You wrote all these, Norm, or you sit up and write all these, or? Music is the universal language, but one day soon it will be replaced by Chinese.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, we got some jokes.
All right, but
that's all right.
But you know, are these street jokes?
No.
So you wrote them?
They're not. Someone wrote them.
Some of them wrote that you know.
Yeah, some people in this room.
Okay, cool.
Some people in this
Thank
room.
you.
I don't want to say who because in case the joke doesn't work.
Okay, all right. Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love
Wait,
how
stop.
I love they laugh. It's just weird, right? Some of them are odd. I'm not going to lie to you.
This is a joke.
Well, some of them.
But this is a joke.
I think technically.
Like an observational joke.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way right there. It's the old Norm MacDonald lean in, whores.
No. All right, listen, man. A lot of people talk about masturbating to the Sears catalog when they were younger, you know?
Yes, I've looked through them.
You know, because nowadays with the porn and everything. But I'm a lot older than that. Back in my days, you actually had to go to a Sears store and fucking whack off.
To the mannequins.
I don't know. I used to love mannequins.
That doesn't make sense because
Did you?
Sears started as a catalog.
It did?
Yeah.
Sears.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That didn't make sense.
Did you write that one?
Well, you're right, though, because you know what? They used it in the
was
old
a-
outhouses. They would use the Sears catalog as toilet paper.
Toilet paper. The
Toilet
paper was so thin, probably.
Hey, a cowboy at a rodeo in Georgia used his lasso to apprehend a gunman. At least this is according to a recent segment of America's hottest new game show. Georgia police blotter or episode synopsis from Walker, Texas Ranger.
So long. I know. Too long. It wasn't beaded out properly. Where did these come from?
Hey, All My Children star Matthew Cowles. You ever watch All My Children?
Sure.
Well, All My Children star Matthew Cowles has died at the age of 69.
Oh.
Or has he? It's what is All My Children called? It's called a
soap opera.
Soap opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soap opera.
Where do you get these jokes?
Some guy.
A Pakistani father stoned his daughter to death for marrying a man of her own choosing, which means Pakistan's tourism board is going to have to find a new slogan to replace "Come to Pakistan." 3 whole days without anyone being brutally stoned to death by her own father.
You like that one?
These are NORM MACDONALD.
No, here, this is an actual joke.
That's what I was laughing at.
Mark, this is an actual joke. This is an actual
These are
joke.
Norm jokes.
This is an actual joke. The only things certain in life are death, taxes, and getting caught whacking off in a Target dressing room.
Are these your tips?
I learned that the hard way. You want to read a joke?
Yeah, man. Who wrote these jokes?
We can't say.
I'd like to do something about a film or something. Oh, good.
How do you know that fast? How do you know that fast?
Glanced and saw.
I'm a good cheater. Fast and Furious 6 opens next week. The cast is getting a little older. It's less fast and furious and more like brisk and peeved.
Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? That's right.
Do you have a writing staff?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
We have Steve O'Donnell.
Steve, these are really good.
These show fish can communicate with each other using subtle physical gestures. One of their most common messages, let's leave this party early. I don't know, what is that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a subtle, it's fucking his joke. Hey, World Cup. You watch the World Cup?
Oh, I'm wearing one. I'm king here. In World Cup soccer, Mexico defeated Cameroon 1-0, or as it's known in soccer, a blowout.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very low-scoring games. Yeah.
Who wrote these? You enemy? Can't find a joke we like. Do you have a dog?
Do I have a dog?
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. Nature abhors a vacuum. I think that was Newton. Nature abhors a vacuum. But so does my dog. Yeah, I have a dog. Dance like no one is watching, sing like no one is listening, love like you've never been hurt, and fuck like a goddamn retard.
I said the word retard.
Still booking the store.
You're booking the comedy store?
Yeah.
Where you can buy comedy.
It's not that kind of store.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of, I don't like to sell my comedy.
Again, it's not an actual store. That's just the name. It's just a comedy club.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like this. I like the theme that this one has. A man in Taiwan reportedly cut off his own penis to win an argument with his wife. That reminds me of that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond forgot Deborah's birthday and he had to cut his own cock off.
All right, a Las Vegas woman was arrested after hiding a stolen Rolex in her vagina. Well, now Bruce Jenner's just gone too far.
I don't understand it.
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle's ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass Fuckers? It's actually...
That's too dirty. Let's do a nice joke to clean it up.
Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff... You should let me read this ahead.
Oh, how about this? College freshman Scott Damerow, Larry, set a new world record by using his head to bust 142 eggs, and he now officially holds a place in the Guinness Book of fucking retards. Organist Ray Manzarek died this week at the age of 74. The Curse of the Doors.
Do you know what Adam Egert has in common with a guitar player?
Adam Egert has in common with a guitar player. No, I don't know.
They both love fingering minors.
Now, okay, come on now. Come on now.
Because of droughts all over Europe, scientists are predicting a global shortage of olive oil. Soon the world will know how Popeye felt after the death of his wife.
Olive oil. My favorite George Miller joke. I played a great club here in the city. Catch a Rising Star. Boy, that's a good club. But across the street, they have a tough club. Have you been there? Snub a bombing has been.
Yesterday was Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, which was awkward for Adam Egert. Do you know how hard it is to fuck a whore with her kid on the edge of the bed playing Nintendo? I mean, that is a hard job.
Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but I invented the light bulb up my ass.
Always ahead of his time.
Oh, come on, man.
The guy who did the voice of Charlie Brown, he was arrested for stalking his girlfriend this week. He also said the next time Lucy grabs away the football, he's going to cut that bitch. Pain and Gain, the new movie directed by Michael Bay. Reviewers are calling it everything from shit to fucking shit.
If tampons are called sanitary napkins, how unsanitary must regular napkins be?
Can you see like George Carlin doing that or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look at this one.
Researchers in Bermuda believe they may have finally solved part of the mystery surrounding Amelia Earhart's disappearance. She was a bad pilot.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not my fault.
Bermuda. She didn't go down anywhere near Bermuda.
What do you call a gay boxer?
Huh?
What do you call a gay boxer?
Norm MacDonald.
No.
The Blue Man Group has been forced by the federal government to hire an orange man and a purple woman.
Oh my God.
Dear. I was raised in a broken home. My father was a drunk carpenter.
One of the most popular documentaries on Netflix is Jiro
Dreams of Sushi?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
I've seen that. It's very good.
You have?
Fantastic documentary.
One of the least popular documentaries, Jiro Nightmares of Asteroid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where do you get these jokes?
Some guy. Here. This is an actual
These are
joke.
Norm jokes.
This is an actual joke.
It's kind of a weird feeling watching the Flintstones lately.
Yeah, it's weird. Watching Flintstones?
Sure, yeah.
How so?
With their Stone Age drive-in movies and their caveman bowling, it just seems so dated.
It does in a way. We were talking about
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie. You know what's not easy as pie? Baking a fucking actual pie.
Does it say actually fucking in there?
Now, do you know how to be Ed McMahon during this?
Well, you have to read
Okay. Mount Baldy. Mount Baldy.
Mount Baldy. Mount Baldy.
Yeah, Mount Baldy. What did Yul Brynner's wife do on their wedding night? Here's one that's good for you.
I used to think revenge was a dish best served cold, but then I realized it meant getting back at somebody.
Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift for a very, very good slave. Well,
Are you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years
Did
ago.
you just write that?
I didn't write
Did
it.
you just say that?
No, I read it. Yes. Do you know the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I've seen it on every single
You've
commercial.
seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money. Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? That's not right.
Do you have a writing staff?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
We have Steve O'Donnell.
Steve, these are really good.
Jenny McCarthy recently got engaged to former New Kid on the Block, Donnie Wahlberg. They plan to marry on Retard Island.
Percy is your dad?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
I'd never heard anyone else's name Percy.
Remember when you came and visited the set of Man on the Moon?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I was also in the film. That's how I like to put it. I know I'm not the most attractive.
I know I'm not the most attractive man in the world. I
Matter
mean,
of fact,
when women look at me, I can tell they're overdressing me with their eyes.
his girlfriend, he had a, what do you call that list?
Oh, if you can a freebie or whatever.
Freebie.
Yeah.
So he picked Angelina Jolie, and Jennifer Aniston, his girlfriend, picked the milkman. I don't know,
Yeah, we still got a milkman.
I don't think there's any milkman.
Should we rip all these from
When
Steve
I
Allen's?
die, I want to be cremated, and my ashes spread eagle and fucked hard, like a fucking real tramp. Wow, come on, man. Why did they make me say that?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
I've noticed that Hotel Rwanda has a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, but their Yelp reviews are terrible.
Growing up, I had a dog with an eating disorder. He wouldn't eat any of my homework.
The World Cup has arrived, so if you're wondering why your local bar smells, it's because all of the dirty foreigners.
How many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
2. One to do it, and the other guy to go, how long's he been up there?
A Swedish Bond girl, Britt Eklund, told Piers Morgan this week that she was seduced by Warren Beatty after the legendary Lothario took her to an X-rated movie for their first date. This is what I have to say about that. Hey, Warren, stop stealing my moves.
Mickey Mantle knew 2 things: drinking and playing drunk baseball.
You know, I know the scriptures say, judge not lest ye be judged, but you know, I'm just going to come out and say it. This guy's a real jerk. Jerk. Real jerk. 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 This guy's a real jerk. But you know, I'm just going to come out and say it. Say it. This guy's a real jerk. Reviewers are calling it everything from shit to fucking shit. Shit to fucking shit. Now officially holds a place. Holds a place. He now officially holds a place in the Guinness Book of fucking retards. A joke.
The latest Archie comic shows gay character Kevin kissing his boyfriend Devin. Another barrier will be broken next month when, in a dream sequence, Jughead will be show fisting Betty Crocker.
God damn, you're illiterate.
It's a show fit. No. Oh, you're right.
Will be shown. Will be shown.
They forgot to write the end there. Listen, whenever someone says, I have a couple irons in the fire, I think, is one of them a job writing blacksmithing metaphor? What? Why are these
I
all
don't know.
fucking...
I don't know.
That's funny.
But we're going to end.
Little girls kidnapped by extremists in Nigeria have been forced to marry their kidnappers. And worse than that, they've been forced to laugh at their husbands' stories even after hearing them for the umpteenth time.
You know something?
Yeah, I know.
It's
but
very
we don't have
hard to make a joke about those girls who
I
are kidnapped.
know.
When I hear about those things, that is one of the
terrible.
worst. You know,
And yet you got a big laugh.
George Clooney's engaged. The rich and handsome 53-year-old told reporters, "It's time for me to settle down and start officially cheating on a heartsick and disillusioned spouse."
I don't hear any laughter.
Well,
I love George Clooney so much that he can do no wrong. He's just one of the good.
I can do a lot of wrong.
He's just one of the good human beings in the world.
A good name for a dog is Syndrome. That then when he tries to attack someone, you can yell "Down, Syndrome."
Don't laugh.
It's not.
I apologize.
I mean, it's yeah.
That's like a
It was a
joke.
little insensitive, I guess. In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday?
Whatever.
There's going to be a Broadway musical based on the movie Rocky. I don't know if you guys heard about this. In the Broadway musical version of the show, after Rocky climbs the steps of the art museum, he goes inside and spends 2 hours looking at paintings.
Yeah, I know. God damn.
Goes inside and looks at what? Paintings?
He looks at paintings.
I like
for
that.
2
That's a good one.
hours. 2 women accused of using sorcery have been beheaded in a remote village in Papua New Guinea. A team of police rushed to the scene but were forced to stand by and watch the victims being decapitated with axes as locals refused to let them come to their aid. Norm, if you ever go to a remote village in Papua New Guinea, at all costs avoid using sorcery.
I don't understand any of that.
Maybe you'll have me
Everyone
back.
stopped listening like 3 minutes in.
Mondays aren't actually worse than any other day, according to a group of researchers who've never read a Garfield comic.
Fred?
Workers at a Harvard University library have discovered a book that's bound with human skin.
Ew.
I know,
God,
it's disgusting. Anyway, they were able to determine that part of the body the skin came from after the book was grabbed by a sexy librarian and immediately expanded to 3 times its size. 3 times its size. It's like
Maybe
this
if he didn't start
Does that
maybe
mean it was made from a penis?
Yeah.
Oh.
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle is ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass F***ers? It's actually. You don't hear any more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who is stonewalling this investigation? I'm thinking about a year I would work on my delivery, but it's just not working out. I think the joke
You don't hear
is
any
that,
more about Bob Costas' infected eye? Who's stonewalling this investigation?
He's a consummate amateur.
Yeah.
You want to do that one?
Adam?
One day in the hopefully not too distant future, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is going to hear a loud popping sound, the sound of his head coming out of his ass.
That was very kind of you. That was the kindest guest to you so far.
Yeah, by far.
Just in case he's still booking Tempe.
So this week I learned by Adam.
Invited back to the comedy table.
These are always fun. This week I learned, just because I masturbated to that picture of a guy falling to his death on 9/11 doesn't mean I have to share it. This week I learned you can pay your dentist with blowjobs.
Who knew that, right?
What I found out this week.
But you won't feel it because of the Novocaine.
All right, I learned 2 things this week.
We'll be back with the ever funny Adam Egan.
Okay, get ready to laugh.
Why is it so different to find pornography about people in stable monogamous relationships?
Why is it so what?
Different.
Different? Difficult. Damn.
Start all over, and the joke still works.
Oh my God.
Earlier this week, Aaron Jackson of Topeka, Kansas, painted his house the colors of the Gay Pride rainbow flag in direct protest of the Westboro Baptist Church. When that didn't seem to work, Jackson fucked 3 of his best buds on his front lawn.
homophobic.
Yeah.
Well, I think it shows
earlier he
solidarity.
was racist, and now he's homophobic.
Well, I think of this. Former Tennessee Titans cheerleader Elizabeth Lee Garner, 42, is accused of pulling a 12-year-old boy's pants off and offering him oral sex. The boy refused her advances not because he was 12, but because he was a die-hard Colts fan.
This is what I have to work with, you know?
Chipotle has canceled its planned sponsorship of the Utah Boy Scout event due to the BSA's ban on gay leaders and scouts. Ironic how an all-male anti-gay organization would want to put hot, thick loads of beef and sour cream in their mouth.
Okay. We get the idea. You hate gay guys.
So I'm a guest on there, and now it's time to introduce the next guest. And she says, okay, this next guy coming out, he's a great actor. He was in Risky Business. He was done all kinds of stuff. I just love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pantaleone. And he comes out, and as he's walking across the stage toward the desk, she goes, oh, I know who he is.
Know that in this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not out of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need.
If you're walking down the sidewalk and there's somebody coming the other way in a wheelchair, do you have a look, or do you oh no, I'm going to act normal?
Well, I look at the guy, and I hope to God my face isn't making all kinds of twitches.
I like to hedge my bets. I don't want to ignore him, so I'll look at him, but I'll like scowl or something.
Really?
You know?
It's the same joke.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What was your joke?
I mean, it's like...
In a highly unusual ruling, the California State Supreme Court declared this week that O.J. Simpson attorney Alan Dershowitz is, quote, one ugly bastard. Meanwhile, Simpson Dream Team attorney Alan Dershowitz was back in the news this week, and good Lord is he ugly. Take a look at the guy. I mean, this is an ugly, ugly guy. No two ways about it. An ugly character. All right. It was reported this week that Simpson prosecutors Marcia Clark and Chris Darden often passed sexually explicit notes back and forth at the trial. Notes which discussed each other's, quote, turn-ons. And according to the notes, both Darden and Clark are turned on by the same freakish thing, Alan Dershowitz. Last week at a dramatic press conference about the crash of TWA Flight 800, ABC News correspondent Pierre Salinger displayed a document which he believes is proof that the jet was shot down by a U.S. Navy missile. Later, he proudly showed reporters his solid gold Rolex that he bought on the street for just $15. That's one ugly bastard, isn't it? Washington Power to some Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing. It will be weird looking. Leona Helmsley fired a maid this week for stealing her Victoria's Secret lingerie. And you think she looks hot here, huh? Imagine, if you would, with the... This week, President Clinton made history when he nominated Madeleine Albright to be first female Secretary of State. Responding to critics who say that she is not the best choice, the president insisted, quote, she looks a lot better after a couple of drinks. Meanwhile, Republican hopeful Phil Gramm says that Bob Dole should not get the nomination because he backed President Clinton's plan to send troops to Bosnia. Dole responded that Graham should not be nominated for president because, well, look at him. Take a gander at the fella. Incidentally, Ms. Maston will be represented in her civil suit by feminist attorney Gloria Allred, who is also quite unattractive. No box of chocolates, that one. The most famous vineyard in France, Chateau Mouton Rothschild, has been getting complaints about a new wine label which features a sketch of a naked woman. It should be noted, however, that the sketch is of Sally Jesse Raphael. You don't want to see, nobody wants to see that. For the 5th year in a row, People magazine has named John F. Kennedy Jr. one of its 50 most beautiful people. Meanwhile, Big Red Nose magazine has named Ted Kennedy one of its 50 faces most ravaged by drink. Former Interior Secretary James Watt was indicted this week for still having a large light bulb-shaped head. To discourage worship of the Dalai Lama, the Chinese government has banned all photos of the exiled Tibetan leader, except for this photo from the 70s. And filmmaker Ken Burns announced that following his baseball series, his next documentary project will be a 12-hour, 8-part history of the dorky haircut. The first deaf Miss America, Heather Whitestone, was crowned last week in Atlantic City. Although completely deaf, she is an expert lip reader. Personally, I don't think she's that pretty, you know. Not my cup of tea. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. Senator Strom Thurmond, at 94, the oldest person ever to serve in Congress, has been hospitalized this week with a bout of the flu. Doctors who examined the senator thoroughly got kind of nauseous. No matter how hard he tries not to, House Speaker Newt Gingrich just continues to scare the bejesus out of little kids. In a recent interview, tenor Luciano Pavarotti says that he is so in love with his new girlfriend that he likes to run nude on the beach with her. Read all about this in this month's issue of Things That Make Me Vomit. That picture makes me vomit as well. A new development in the Marv Albert story. This week, his accuser, Vanessa Perhatch, decided to go public, allowing news agency to print her name and picture. Following the publications of the photograph, legal experts were left wondering, who was the real victim? Not easy on the eye. Well, it's official. Sportscaster Marv Albert, convicted last month on assault and battery charges, will serve no jail time. But the big story was outside the courthouse, where the second accuser from his trial, Patricia Maston, showed her face in public for the first time. This new development had legal experts asking once again, who was the real victim here? A celebrated Hollywood cosmetic surgeon, whose clients include Michael Jackson, Phyllis Diller, and Joan Rivers, has been accused of fondling patients while they were under anesthesia. The case has legal experts wondering, who is the real victim here? This week, a milestone in rock music. REM drummer Bill Berry has announced that he is quitting the band. Berry, who has been with REM for 17 years, says the decision to leave was entirely mutual between himself and his giant eyebrow. They talked it over and they decided it was best for both of them. An extremely rare albino lobster found recently in Maine will not end up on a dinner table, but will instead live out its days in a private aquarium. The lobster has already been flown from Casco Bay to Texas, where it will be lovingly cared for by rock legend Johnny Winter. Finally, in entertainment news, there are rumors that actor Don Johnson is dating 71-year-old San Francisco socialite Denise Hale. An observer who spotted the couple necking in a restaurant will have trouble getting an erection for the rest of his life. Well, finally, the Guinness Book of World Records announced this week that Gul Mohammed of New Delhi, at 22.8 inches tall, is the shortest man in the world to have Eddie Murphy's head. Earlier today, the biggest auction ever of Beatles memorabilia took place in Tokyo. Among the one-of-a-kind items on the block were Paul McCartney's birth certificate, a white Mercedes-Benz owned by John Lennon, and rarest of all, a photo of George Harrison not looking haggard. Have you ever seen one when you think about it? In a recent interview, Paul McCartney confessed that Bob Dylan turned the Beatles on to marijuana. In return, George Harrison turned Dylan on to looking old and haggard.
I've never seen a picture of George Harrison not haggard.
He's somewhere, he's be-haggard. He's like beleaguered and haggard. Like he's haggard with a beleaguered
Be-haggard?
thought. Yeah.
I always want the new people. Oh, hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. What? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman, hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
but I think she's spawned these other ladies that they forget that she's funny, and they think the whole point is just to be
semi-hot,
attractive, and then talk about sucking cock. And
you got to show
shit.
a lot of leg. You got to show a lot of leg with little skirts on, and then talk about sucking cock and manipulating balls with your hand, and it's hysterical.
Bring back Phyllis Diller. Some ugly old bag. Rosemary. Those are the funny ladies.
Wow. Whoa, that is old.
The funny ladies always used to be ugly old bags. Or Roseanne, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, of all the people that you've ever interviewed over the years, how many people would you say you've interviewed?
40,000.
40,000.
That's what they figure 40 years, about 1,000 people a year.
40,000 guests. Now, who was the physically ugliest guest you ever encountered? The ugliest.
Ugliest.
The Elephant Man. You ever interview the Elephant Man?
No, we tried.
He was ugly.
But we didn't do. We almost had Siamese twins once.
Really?
Didn't do them.
You're saying Siamese twins are ugly?
They were connected at the head.
And that
would have been difficult.
Not attractive to you?
No.
Would you marry a Siamese twin?
Now stop that. I didn't come here to be insulted.
No, but
all right.
So you never interviewed the
I'm trying to
Elephant
think if you asked. No, I did not interview the Elephant Man. I'm trying to think of the ugliest man I have ever interviewed. The ugliest man. Who's the guy who produces Saturday Night Live?
Lorne Michaels.
That's the man.
Yes, I've met him. He is
hard to look at.
Not easy on the eye.
No, not. Hard to interview people like that.
Not easy on the eye. So you're saying, Larry King, that you find conjoined twins ugly?
At the head, yes.
At the head, they're ugly.
At the hip, they're not ugly. But at the head, it's grotesque.
It's grotesque.
Don't you think it's grotesque?
No, I find all humans beautiful.
Larry, that's why we love you.
In a recent interview, Jane Pauley recalled how back in the 70s, she coined the phrase bad hair day. In another recent interview, Larry King recalled how back in the 70s, he coined the phrase bad face day.
Oh, baby. Hey. That's dangerous. It is dangerous. Oh, here we go. We've got creator and the star of Comedy Central's hit series, the Sarah Silverman program, and she's a member of the comedy collective Jash, and also Sarah Silverman is a wonderful person that I'm really happy to be around right now.
Thank you, Jenny Slate.
Straight up, sunglasses.
You know how I feel about you and about sunglasses.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I hope this our bit works out. We'll see. It'll be fun.
Hey,
Norm, thanks for dressing up.
Hey, Sarah, listen, man. Congratulations. That's the 100th time that joke's been done tonight. But I also want to tell you, I have a bet with Daniel Kellison, a rather large figure.
Daniel Kellison, who put this whole thing together way over his head.
He says you can explain what the fuck Jash is.
Jash is
pay up, fucker.
Jash is a comedy collective, a United Artists, if you will. Uniting myself, Reggie Watts, Michael Cera, and Tim and Eric. And what do? We do whatever we dream up. We shoot it, and it goes on there. We can fail, we can do well. It's total freedom.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.
I mean, I've never heard the word collective.
I know, but
Leon
Daniel
Trotsky.
puts buzzwords in my head, and then I just blind.
All the stars are here. Bobby McFerrin just showed up.
Norm, didn't you used to host the news on Saturday Night
I know,
Live?
man. This whole thing's got me thinking. I gotta fucking get back on TV.
I just want the new people. Hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. What? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman, hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
but I think she spawned these other ladies that they forget that she's funny, and they think the whole point is just to be
semi-hot,
attractive, and then talk about sucking cock. And
you got to show a
shit.
lot of leg. You got to show a lot of leg with little skirts on, and then talk about sucking cock and manipulating balls with your hand, and it's hysterical.
Bring back Phyllis Diller. Some ugly old bag. Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Those are the funny ladies.
Wow.
Whoa, that is old.
The funny ladies always used to be ugly old bags. Or Roseanne. You know what I mean?
Most embarrassing moment of your life. So many to choose from. I know you've mined probably a few of them for your little stand-up sketches.
I have to be honest.
I want a new scab peeled off here.
I've never said this out loud. I want people to see me in a sexual way, but I was on SNL the year I was at SNL, but I was in Los Angeles for hiatus for some reason. I didn't live here. And I went to soup. I was having dinner, and then I was going to take the red eye back, and I was to pick up Norm MacDonald in my rental car, and we're on the same flight back. But I think he was in first class and I was in coach. So I went to Soup Plantation before and had dinner with some friends, and then it just hit me like your story that I don't know if you told while we were doing this.
Yeah, 5-pound weight dropped down in your belly.
That happened to me, and I had the diarrhea of a lifetime in the bathroom at Soup Plantation. Like,
not a luxurious bathroom.
Like when you think it's over and you've cleaned up and you're getting up and you stand up and you go, oh my God, it's starting all over again. It was like that. It was like I was sweating, like I wanted to take my shirt off.
Yeah, and you've already wiped thinking it was done. Now you got to wipe again.
And I'm very meticulous. I mean, I
front to back?
Yes.
Okay.
This just made me think of Harris Whittles said about Rob Schraub that most people wipe front to back, he wipes side to side. That makes me laugh. Okay, so I'm like sick. I'm sick, okay? So I clean myself up, and I go to pick up Norm MacDonald, who I worshipped, at that time, and I pick him up. And we're driving. I've never told this story. I've never told him this. And we're driving to the airport. And Norm goes, what the fuck? It smells like fucking diarrhea in this car. And I'm going, what? And my heart is going bam, 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 bam. And he goes, did you fucking shit in your pants? And I go, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And I we roll down our windows. And I'm thinking, what is he smelling? Like, I must have, stepped on it or something. Like, it literally, I don't know what it was. And to this day, I was clean. I swear to God.
And this was your worst nightmare.
It is still to this day probably my worst nightmare. And he's going, fucking smells like fucking diarrhea in this car. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Norm. But in my heart, I'm going, my heart is just pounding out of my chest, and I'm just like, what is wrong with me? And I'm feeling it again And then we get to the airport, and I go to the bathroom, and I'm totally clean. I don't know, like, I'm still to this day, like, I don't know if I, like, it was on the bottom of my shoe.
Or
like,
maybe in like that, when your underwear and pants form a little hammock underneath you.
I don't have that.
Hmm.
I'm a lady.
Yeah.
I don't know, but, or maybe it was a crazy coincidence. Maybe, I mean, it makes more sense that Norm shit his pants and was like yelling at me for shitting his pants. I mean, he's a guy who literally took a shit and then forgot to wipe and walked away and pulled up his pants because he was like on the phone. So anyway, he just told that story on Stern, I think. That was it. He boarded the plane, did not even like say goodbye or anything. He just like got on the plane way before me, and I never saw him again until we got to work on Monday.
Wow.
But I've remained good friends with him, but
You never told him this story?
No, I've got to ask him about that. I guess what is there to ask?
Well, he listens to every podcast, so he will probably
Good.
reach out to you
Let's
after
get
hearing
this
Can you imagine
out.
if he was still angry, like all these years later?
Why-
you fucking denied it?
Well, that was what's scary is he was angry. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh my God, do you smell that? What is that? Is that this area? I hope you don't think that's me.
You always
It was
give somebody an out.
It was just an accusatory anger. And I wanted to,
Shake your pants.
honestly wanted to just drive the car into a wall and kill us both. Would have
Wow.
been less embarrassing.
Wow.
Why did I tell this story?
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.